So I've already been here for like 2 hours. I'm ticket D02. They're currently up to C17. There's like 100 people in front of me. This is what it's all about, just having to be a bit patient. G'day, Rob from the Global Society. And you know, when you go traveling, sometimes you just got to roll with the punches. Today we've had an interesting one, which is our flight from southern Argentina back to Buenos Aires has been cancelled because of a national strike. And that means that there are basically no flights out of this place for a couple of days. And of course, tomorrow we're supposed to be flying from Buenos Aires over to Europe, which means we're kind of screwed. So this is one of those interesting cases, right, where there's not a lot you can do. There's so much stuff out of your control. We've looked at, do we drive back to Buenos Aires, 1,600 kilometers, 24 hours of driving on terrible roads? Do we, you know, pay for other tickets? Do we charter a helicopter? There's tons of stuff that you just don't know. And in the end, that's why we've got travel insurance. We are gonna go right in here to Aerolíneas Argentinas to see what they can do in terms of getting us onto another flight. But then of course our next flight's on another booking, so who knows what's going to happen there. Anyway, this is going to be a bit of an adventure, and this is going to be a great example of where travel insurance totally saves your ass. So let's see what happens next. I don't know what's going to happen next, but we're just going to roll with it. Well, that was interesting. It's just in the Aerolíneas Argentina office, and started getting a little bit hairy. People getting really pissed off. You know, it's Christmas time, general strike at Christmas time. Everybody's really angry and upset. And then all of the staff of Aerolíneas Argentinas basically just got up and left. So I'm running back to my car. I'm going to drive to the airport, and I'm going to see if we have a little bit more luck at the airport. At least look the positives. Always try and look at the positives. Look at this view. Check that out. You know, even if worst comes to the worst, we end up stranded in Bariloche in southern Argentina, Patagonia, for a few days. Is that really the end of the world? Probably not. Let's go to the airport and see what happens. So, have arrived at Bariloche Airport. I've actually already been over to the Aerolíneas Argentinas counters. These guys have been amazing. It's a general strike, so they didn't even actually need to be here, but it's just a few of their staff have actually got some, you know, really good customer service values, and they wanted to help out people, so they've basically helped us get our flights rescheduled. Unfortunately, not in time for us to make our connection heading back to Europe. But that we're going to have to work out separately. We'll see how that goes. But out of a city not far from here, we're going to be leaving not tomorrow, but the day after. At least then we've got a chance of making the connecting flight to Europe the following day. So it's all working out bit by bit. For now, let's head back into town. We're going to go back to the hotel. Got to reorganise the rental car. But here's a little bit of a tip anyway. So this is the second time I've had an airline actually cancel all of the flights. This happened to me once with Air France before. The office in town was crazy, but here at the airport, it's absolutely deserted because most people find out that their flight's been cancelled before they get to the airport. So there's a good tip. If your flight has been cancelled and you need to get it rescheduled, don't go to the office downtown, come to the airport, because often they'll have more staff here and there aren't as many people because nobody's flying out of here. Let's keep going with the adventure. So I'm heading back inside because I realised I forgot something critical, actually critically important when you have something like this happen, flight delays, cancellations, general strike. You need a letter that proves that the cancellation happened. All right, job done. There it is, the magic letter. Let's get back in the car, head back to town. So here's the moral of the stories, folks. As long as you got travel insurance, you are going to be absolutely a-okay, no need to stress out. You know, if things like this happen, general strikes, planes cancelled, ultimately it's the responsibility of the airlines to get you where you got to go. And your travel insurance will cover all those extra costs, things like hotels, flight cancellations, changed flights, incidental costs, all that stuff is covered. So make sure you have travel insurance. That's the moral of this story. Here's how the story ends. I've gotten back to the hotel, and Marine has been busily on the phone with Lufthansa and has somehow managed to get our flight to Europe pushed back by a day at no charge. And that's basically just a miracle, because it was snowing in Frankfurt, and our outbound, the plane that was coming to pick us up pretty much, was already delayed. So they decided to put us on the flight 24 hours later at no charge, which is pretty awesome. So we now have to drive about 5 hours, leaving this amazing place, Bariloche, in order to take plane from there to Buenos Aires. We've got an overnight on the way, 5-hour drive, and then finally we should be getting our plane to Europe. So pretty freaking lucky as things go. It's taken half a day to organise. Yes, there's going to be some cost involved, but that's going to be covered by travel insurance. Good save. Just shows, be patient when this sort of things happens. And I guess the other thing to remember is that it makes a great story. Always remember that it makes a good story. Enjoy. See you next time.